So at the start of lockdown, me and Katie, we talked about moving out of our flat, moving out of this place that's been our home for quite a few years. It's also been our place of work, and it's right in the city. I think being in the city centre during lockdown has been difficult. It's been difficult for a lot of reasons. Access to outdoor spaces where you can actually stay and enjoy yourself it just doesn't really exist properly in Manchester. And so we were scratching our heads on what we want from a house. And one of the things is this idea of, I think it's called FIRE. So it's basically financial freedom. FIRE is an acronym and it means financially independent, retire early. The more you know. And we were thinking, how do we achieve something like that on a modest budget? And so I really like the idea of tiny houses, but they're not super viable in the UK. Quick sidebar, I like the idea of van life. That seems fun, but it seems like glorified camping. It seems like even the people who do it long term don't do it like long term, which makes me think it doesn't feel as comfortable as some people might say it does. You know what I'm saying? Unless you've got somewhere to put it, some friend's farm or something like that, that's always what you hear when you hear about a tiny house. And then Katie mentioned canal boats. And I thought, yeah, fuck it, it's a bit of an adventure. I like the sound of that. We started doing the research. We decided that, yeah, it might be for us. It's probably within budget, or at least a budget we could kind of get together. It's a way to achieve some semblance of financial freedom, or at least really minimizing those outgoings, which, if you've heard me talk about money and starting a business on here before, you'll know that minimizing your outgoings at the start is a great way to not be beholden to clients that you don't want to work for. You don't have to take on jobs just because the job is there. You're a bit freer. So if I can just interrupt myself for a minute, the reason we're thinking about a canal boat is the proximity to outside. At the moment, because we live in a 5th floor flat, that's a tongue twister, you're just too far away from the outside, and with living in a city centre and having no option to move around, you're kind of stuck with what you've got. Manchester doesn't have an awful lot of good outdoor space, and so it takes a long time to get out, and then when you do get out, there's kind of nowhere to go. Whereas on a canal boat, you have the option to move around, and you're also kind of already in nature, which to me is pretty appealing. Obviously, one of the first places I turned to when doing research was YouTube, and there's a couple of channels that I really like that I'm going to share with you when I get home. And so, perfect, great. So we started doing our research, we found some amazing YouTube channels, and the next step, now that restrictions are easing, is to go and stay on one, see if we actually like it, and then we can maybe start looking at the ones for sale. I mean, I have kind of been looking a little bit, but I've mostly been holding off doing that till we find out what we actually want from it. And so what I really want to do now is I want to go and speak to some people who live on canal boats. And in true me style, I can't just go and talk to people, so I kind of want to make some videos. I want to make a little documentary about what it is to live on a canal boat, a little FAQ for the first timer, because I know I need it. Maybe you need it too. Maybe you have thought about this as well. The two main channels on YouTube that we found that have a good semblance of the kind of life that we might expect from a canal boat are Cruising Alba and Holly the Cafe Boat. Both people around the same age as us in kind of creative fields, people who, you kind of see them, you go, yeah, I'd probably be friends with them. They seem decent. And they're living on these boats. They seem to enjoy their life on it. And they're really interesting to watch. I think they're both sets of people are making great videos. So the next step is to find some people who are willing to talk to me, willing to be on camera, and we can learn some more about a new potential lifestyle. So yeah, that's a thing. And just to derail myself again, back when I was first in uni, I actually really wanted to live on a canal boat then. Not sure why I wanted to back then. I don't think I knew anything about it. But it's just a trivia. So coming up, there should be some videos about canal boats. It might turn out that we hate the idea of it once we start to actually look at it for real. Once it's less theoretical and more actual, but hopefully not, and hopefully we can shed some light on an interesting counterculture lifestyle. That's it for today. Thanks for watching.